Bolt Bros Thunder Hub. Let's go. All right. Yeah. So we got ourselves a little bit of a Thursday night football game still going on here, and it's starting to heat up a little bit. I'm keeping my eye on it. The Falcons and the Bucks are doing their thing. But you know what? Hey, you know what? We are talking about the Chargers tonight, though, So there's a lot of things I want to talk a little bit about. Talk a little bit about some of the press conferences that we've had with Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert, and then get into a little bit of what's going to possibly happen for the Chiefs versus Chargers game. And then we'll get into a little bit more about some deep questions, of course, But yeah, we'll have some fun tonight, guys. But hey, can I just also say Justin Herbert is a Terminator, for crying out loud. All right, but that's some of the things we'll get into tonight, though. So, but let's just jump into it, guys. So, as always, Bolt Bros, let's go.
What's up, Pyramid, man? You watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Charter blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Bolt Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
All right, guys. Yeah. So, just first and foremost, man, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the video because it really does help us out with this channel. If you do enjoy the content, but man, Justin Herbert is a Terminator, is he not? Dude is actually kind of a psycho. He straight up got a cybernetic hand or something like that, because he broke his hand 2 weeks ago, used it the next week to stiff arm a player when he was freaking running around, just making things happen, man. It's freaking wild to me. But hey, you know what? Power to him. Dude is a freak of nature. Dude is an incredible athlete, incredible human being. Despite what a lot of the media is saying right now, that he was being rude to that reporter. Man, I get it, man. He was excited about the game, excited about the win. And, he just wanted to celebrate with the boys. I get it. Sure. He's the captain of the team. He's the quarterback. He's got to talk to the media, blah, blah, blah. Man, look, it is well known that he does not want to talk to the media. It is well known. It is well documented that he wants to go out there and play some ball, and I get it. It may have been a little passive aggressive of him not wanting to talk to the reporter, but hey, you never know what's going on in the dude's head. Maybe he got something else. Maybe Madison Beers was telling him not to talk to any other ladies. You never know. Whatever. It's not my problem, and I don't care. He's still my boy. I'm going to back him. So what's up, guys? We got White Deadpool in the house. We got let's go Chargers. We got a loss win. And if the Broncos are locked and sit out, we win. If we play starters, we might take that L. So 50-50 on this last game. Hey, let's go, man. We got Pappy in the house. Volograd was here first. Valdo Gold. Yeah, what's up? But yeah, so let's talk a little bit first. About, of course, the show tonight. It's the Thunder Hub. Yeah. No, but I'm serious. So let's talk about how Jim Harbaugh's press conference. I want to talk a little bit about. He said some funny things this week, and honestly, I kind of wanted to dig into that a little bit. Like the biggest thing is that he put this game somehow above or on par with the birth of his children and things like that. So it's like that just makes me laugh, because it's like that just seems like a really high bar to set. And this was not even a championship game, this is just a regular season game, so but that just kind of goes to show you how important winning is to this coach and stuff like that, but I mean, at the end of the day, though, he sounded like he was like a proud dad watching his kids win in a street fight, called it one of the most competitive games that he's ever been part of. And I'm still just like, I'm pretty sure there's other more important games that he's had in his career but hey, I mean, I get it. You're caught up in the emotions and stuff like that. Winning is winning, but at the same side though, like, I mean, he had nothing but high praises about the defense stuff, talking about Cam Hart, Tony Jefferson, freaking Dan Henley, Denzel Perryman, Tuli, all being just absolutely dominant and unselfish the entire game, and then he even talked a lot about Jamar Caldwell having that freaking amazing fumble on that special teams and things like that, but yeah, honestly, like, like he said, all the high praises that he has were basically just saying, like, look, this is the kind of effort that wins December games. That's when it matters. So, and one thing specifically he mentioned too was Derwin James saying that he was the ultimate energy and ultimate tone setter of the game and stuff. So I thought that was awesome. But in short, it's kind of like he's saying that the defense is out there playing like they all share one brain cell, and that brain cell is the only thought is to destroy the opposite team, destroy the quarterback. That is their only thoughts that they have, and they are like all thinking in like one hive mind right now. So it's freaking crazy. You see, let me catch up on some of your guys' comments here. So what are you guys saying here? Wrong button there. Let's see. Justin wasn't in such a good mood when he's in that report needs to consider Justin in the pain his injury. Oh, that is a great yeah, he wasn't in a great mood. Yeah, his hand was probably like insanely hurting. He's like, nope, I really don't want to do this right now. I just want to like get off this field and celebrate for a second. I'm sure, man, I guarantee when he goes, maybe not to the locker room, maybe not, in the bus ride home or whatever like that. But when he finally gets home and he's in private, he has to be like, oh my gosh, my hand is killing me. When no one else is around him. I hope, I pray, I hope he has that kind of emotion, otherwise he is a cybernetic organism, call him T900 or maybe T700. He's the prequel to Arnold. Maybe, I don't know, T700. That'll work. I love how Justin's been screw the media and screw that kid. Yeah, right. Hey, man, he's got that dog in him. Yeah, we winning though, baby. Oh man, this is crazy though, right? Yeah, Phillip Rivers coming back is insane. It is absolutely insane for me. But I'll say this: I kind of mentioned it a little bit during our show in the post game. Him coming back is kind of a good thing because then that does remove him from the Hall of Fame ballot this year. Because the next couple of years is kind of tough when it comes to quarterbacks, So, but if he plays again, he's only going to be playing like having right now. If this is his only year, Aaron Rodgers is the only one that's going to be on that ballot with him. So I think that could be a good thing for him to play another. I think it sucks that he's playing again with the Colts or something like that, But hey, that would be nice if we actually pulled him in for the Chargers. That'd be sick. But yeah, that is what it is. So yeah. The Eagles fan kid got told, LOL. Go buy a Herbert jersey, and I bet he would have signed it. If a kid was in Philly wearing a Herbert jersey, he would have gotten egged. But yeah, he totally would. 100%. That was that's for sure. That's for sure. People are so soft that kid. I like how Justin's been acting. Hey, you know what? That's fair. That's totally fair. Yeah. Oh, thanks for the compliment. Okay, like I said, I just I got off work not too long ago, and I just didn't change my shirt. So. But yeah, man, I'm looking good. Like I do like to dress up when I go into the office. So yeah, that's it. Go Bolts, that's for sure. Heck yeah. All right. So let's move on. Keep moving the show a little bit here. So I wanted to talk a little bit now about Justin Herbert's presser. Speaking of media, talking to the media, he does talk to the media. He talks to them when he has to in the Chargers room, in the official channels, you know what I'm saying? But when he's on the field, it's all game time. It's all game time mode, you know what I'm saying? What's up, my guys? Hey, appreciate y'all for coming in, by the way. So bottom line in my head, when it comes to Justin Herbert, straight up, when he's on that field, it's like warrior mode is activated, hand injury be damned, sore, swollen, but things like that, like he's saying that, yeah, everything's looking good on his hand, hey, he's just classic Herbert lines. He's just saying, what, I'm just trying to keep the swelling down, like they will poke and prod at all those questions as much as possible, but at the end of the day, all he's trying to do is be ready to play some football. And it does look like this week, if you've seen some of the pictures from what their training is looking like today, Justin Herbert has like a different, like kind of a cast around his hand. So I'm sure like they wrap it and rewrap it, like every single day, to keep the swelling down, to keep keep it nice and clean and all that stuff, So, and it makes perfect sense that they would be doing that, So, but in this channel, this official channel for him, he was saying that he's taking full ownership of the 2 turnovers and the couple of missed throws. And it's like, look, it was a tough day for the offense, yeah, he's not going to make excuses and say, oh, my hand was hurting like hell. So like, I couldn't, make things happen, no, he's not going to make excuses that, but he praised like all the other players on the offense, about, talking about Marion Hampton, for bringing the juice in every phase, you know what I'm saying? He's got big love for like, oddly enough, for the freaking offensive line. Like, it's like, none of us just see it though, like, I mean, obviously he doesn't want to like throw any specific player under the bus, but like I've said this before, he needs to throw someone on the offensive line under the bus and be like, look, these guys need to be held accountable. They need to be doing their job better. Like, look, he's not going to tell them how to do their job. He doesn't know how to do their job. He doesn't know exactly the stress that job has. He knows what his stress is, and part of his stress that he's getting is from the offensive line because they're not doing their job. And that's just like, look, man, when it comes down to like anything, look, I worked in, film and television and stuff like that, and my work was towards the end of the line. And if people at the front of the line did not do their job right, it makes my job a living hell. And that's exactly what's going on here with Justin Herbert in a lot of ways, like, I mean, the pipeline, well, the way we always say is, poop in, poop out, you can't polish a turd, like if it's done right the first time, or like, down at the start of the pipeline, then it will be done right at the end of the pipeline. You can't fix everything. You can't leave everything to his shoulders and stuff. And so I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day though, he was sacked 7 times. We still came out with the win. So had like a 30 something passer rating or whatever. It was just slightly better than Jalen Hurts, but we'll get into this a little bit in a second here too, but after I get into your comments and stuff. But gosh, that was insane that we won that game. Like, defense literally did their job the best in order for this thing to happen, for us to win this game. And at the end of the day, man, like if we didn't have Cameron Dicker, we would be in a lot worse situation this year for sure. So I feel like if we can, let's make Cameron Dicker the most well-paid kicker in NFL history. I think that we should 100%. Let's extend him now and let's make that happen, guys. So I mean, I just don't understand it, man. Like, I mean, like how many times he's been sacked, how many pressures he had. He had pressures on him when it wasn't even a pass play, guys. It was, he had like 31 pass pressures on him, or in the backfield, and he only passed the ball 26 times. Like, how is that statistically possible? But all at the same time, he still looked calmer than most people do trying to get their morning coffee at Starbucks. He's just built different. I mean, how do you defend against this guy? I don't even know, man. It's amazing. Anyways, let's catch up with you guys there. Yeah. let's catch up with your guys' comments here. So, what do you guys got here for me? Justin needs to wrap his left hand into a club and beat the Chris Jones between stud. There you go. I like that, Corbin. That'd be great. Put it, just start smacking people with it, like you can just I don't know. I guess he still needs to have his fingers access, whatever. So I don't know how that's gonna work. You maybe put it right here, a little extra padding, I don't know, something like that. That'd be good. And maybe make all the plays on this cast, it's instead of that flap or something like that, that could work, right? My blue chews from Monday night hasn't worn off. Should I be concerned? No, you'll be all right. Just put a little ice on it. We'll be fine. Ooh, by the way, guys, this Falcons Tampa Bay game is kind of heating up a little bit. It's 26-28. Hey, let's go. Let's see. Can they just wrap Herbert's hand in Velcro? Nah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. But let's wrap it around in steel. How about that? Instead of a cast or plaster cast, let's make it a steel cast. Wrap some adamantium or vibranium around it. How about that, Deadpool? What do you think? What do you think would be better? Yeah, this. So hard that the cat can't scratch it. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Something gratifying about sending Steeler fans home than sending Eagles fans home. Yeah, dude, there really is. There really is. With those stupid, annoying towels and freaking, like the dirty birds. Get them out of here, Yeah, shoot. Poop in, poop out. You can't polish a turd. Kyle quote of the year. Yeah. We'll have to quote that one. I'll add that to the quote list, maybe, Yep. Mark Twain once used Kyle for quote, "Hey, let's go." Put a hook on it. Oh, there you go. Make Captain Hook. That'd be what's up. That's what's up, Roland. How you doing, my man? Justin should tart slap Chris Jones with his left hand. Yes. Hey, what's up, Hugo, my man? How you doing? Okay, so let's move on to the next slide here. Okay, so I did want to talk a little bit about, of course, the Queefs. We're going to talk a little bit about them a little bit. Look, at the end of the day, this is going to be probably the biggest game of the season. Well, I don't know. Was last game against the Eagles biggest game of the season? There's the reigning Super Bowl champs. But I think that was a very okay. So like I said before, the Eagles game against the Chargers was basically, how do you say, a massive moral victory along with being an actual victory. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the reigning Super Bowl champs, hands down. So now we got the Chiefs, who've been the reigning essentially division leaders, and they're just getting being a dumpster fire all year. So, Andy Reid is out here, not being the same person who he normally is. This is a very big game for us, because if we literally win this one, I do 100% believe that this will eliminate the Chiefs from playoff contention, period. And that would just be absolutely so sweet for the game of football, that we don't have to see Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs anymore. We don't have to see, Travis Swift on the field and in the stands. We don't have to see any of that anymore. And that would be fantastic. Finally get some new, people in the playoff contention. You don't even have to think that the Chiefs are in this contention at all, So, and it's amazing to me about how bad the Chiefs have been when the refs are not giving them, any kind of favoritism. Instantly, no more favoritism. They are out, and that we know for the past 5 years. If they did not have that favoritism for those 5 years, they would not have been anywhere in all those things, So I don't know. Okay, so, but like I said though, Chiefs are in trouble right now. They're out for blood. They've lost 2 straight games. Got embarrassed last week, and I mentioned this. Mahomes, he had the worst game in his absolute career this week. He had a 19 passer rating against the Texans. He threw for 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, went like 15 for 30 or something like that, Just absolutely horrible. I don't know how many sacks. I didn't look too deep into that, but hey man, whew, I don't know why we're seeing, like, I mean, we'll get into it a little bit more in the coming weeks or whatever, but we got a weird thing going on here. The Chargers are they're oh, not the Chargers, the Chiefs. They're going to be out for blood. And this is a home game for them, So I don't understand why, like, all these different freaking people, pundits and news people are saying that the Chiefs are going to win. Like, I think the NFL prediction thing so far, it says that 9 of the 10 people are saying that Chiefs are going to win this game, and I don't see it. I literally don't see it. They are literally imploding, and they are going to be a whole different team next year. I don't think a lot of players are going to stick around the Chiefs anymore, man, because there's something going on in that locker room. There's something going on in that facility, but that none of them are happy at all. So, but we got some good key matchups up this for this one though. Like, I mean, hey, look, our defense: Mack, Oweh, Tuli, Buddy Dupree, Caldwell, freaking Tierra Tart. They're gonna have a good dang game. We're gonna have a good dang game for sure. Derwin James, you believe it, but we got to hit the ground running with them. We can't win that game with just field goals. We need to score touchdowns. And if we can, we need to score defensive touchdowns as well. Like, that's the key. That is absolutely the key. Ground and pound, defensive touchdowns, not relying just specifically on the freaking, what's it called? Not relying on special teams to make this thing happen, So, yeah, but like I said, I do fear that because of this terrible game that he's come off of, he's going to be out for blood. And that means in my head that he's about ready to drop 400 yards on us and invent like 3 new ways to scramble in that freaking game. He'll maybe this time do the 360 no scope freaking touchdown pass to Travis Kelce or something like that. I don't know, man. I hope not, but goodness gracious, let's not see that. I mean, Chiefs fans, they have confidence in Mahomes. They still believe in him, and they have every reason to believe in him. So that's just all I'm saying, and that's what I'm concerned about tonight, though. So anyway, so let's get into your guys' comments here. So what's up? Okay. We need to win. Pats and Jets need to lose, and KC is out. Okay, so that's this scenario. All right, but that's good. But El Chorchis also says, but if we win, they're pretty much eliminated. Yeah, I mean, yes, that's it. So I think Pats and Jets. Well, the Pats will probably win. Jets, they'll probably lose. I don't know. Like, there's always a chance for the Chiefs. Like, I mean, we can't rule them out though. So I want to sweep the Chiefs and the Broncos and see the Broncos lose out and we take the West. And that's very possible. Look, I am running my simulation, or like not my simulation, but running the statistics. It's very possible that we could take the division away from the Broncos if we win, keep winning our games. And obviously the Broncos, they need to, keep winning their games in order if they want to stay ahead of us or whatever. But I do think that they have a couple losses in them. I think they have more losses ahead of them than wins. So that's my hope. That's my fingers crossed there. So, Chiefs playing on Thanksgiving and Christmas because NFL knows they mostly criminals without families. Hey, that's true. Kareem Hunt, beats women, beats fans, all that stuff, So yeah, well, that's why, yeah. That's why it's going to be difficult. Be a difficult game to win because the Chiefs have something to play for. Yeah, exactly. And so do the Chargers. We do too. But man, our offensive line is just not great. Yes, sir. Yeah, 19 passer rating. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay. Oh, looks like 2-minute warning, by the way, for the Thursday night game. Tampa Bay got the ball with 28-24 going. So it's possible that they may pull out the win. So we'll see. That injury report is for the league, not for reality. Who will play? Yeah, it's yeah. Don't worry about the injury report just yet. I do know that it's still early. The game is on Sunday, so tomorrow's report is the one that matters the most. So we'll keep an eye on that one, guys. Keep an eye on that one. Yeah. So Coach Harbaugh is 8-2 versus the AFC West as Chargers head coach, losing only to Chiefs with a chance for a sweep this season. Let's go. I'm gonna give you that one. Yeah, give me some thunder on that one, boys. Yeah, man. Because look, Harbaugh, he's playing some good divisional games, man. He does a good job. So I do think that he has a chance for that. So Chargers winning increases the chances of winning the division. Yes, 100%. If we win, that would be good because I think it's absolutely critically important for the Chargers to always win the division, because going east for these playoff games is always a massive thing, massive problem. So yeah, pretty sure 9 to 10 people said the Eagles were going to beat us too. Yes, and Adam Rank was the only one that said that we would win. And but Adam Rank is not saying that we're going to win this game though too. It's somebody else. I can't remember. Yeah, so Chargers going to win. Let's go. Let's sweep them. Oh, Super Bowl year. Herbert wins Rams. Oh, ooh, that'd be dope. Hell yeah. Watch Herbert do a no-handed backflip cartwheel in the end zone. Right? That'd be what's up. The so-called experts pick the Eagles to win. Our defensive and the blitz packages Minter has introduced will make minced meat out of Mahomes. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to give you a charge for that one. Charge. Let's go. Expect a lot of blitzing from the Queefs. Anything to force Herbert to fumble. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yep. My biggest concern is the weather. Chargers historically wither in the freezing cold. Yeah, we do kind of struggle there. Yo, Grandizer, my man. How was your day, my guy? Did you hear that the Chargers could win out and yet not make the playoffs if certain key teams win? Oh my gosh, no, I did not hear that. But that makes me really sad. But it does not actually make sense though too, because the Chargers need to win out. I guess if the Chargers win out and the Broncos win out, then yeah, we would be screwed. But the Broncos do have to have a couple losses here, and we would take it from them. That's just it. So that's just the only thing. And I do think the Broncos have about 2 losses left in them. One of them is from us. Let's go. Okay, they got the current stats here. Yeah, Chargers remaining schedule. Yeah. Chiefs, Cowboys, Texans, Denver. That's right. And by the way, guys, there is a very fine possibility that I may actually end up going to that Broncos game. I'm thinking about it. There is a possibility that I can make it happen. I just hope it is. Fingers crossed. We'll do what we can for sure. And that's another Chargers first down. Okay, so let's keep moving on here. But now it's time for me to put my hands in my pants and play a little bit of high voltage pocket pool. You know what I'm saying? Okay, one moment, please, guys. Charge. All right. Oh, where'd it go? Where did my screen go here? All right, boys. Yeah, so let's get into this thing a little bit here. Have you guys heard about the Sleeper app? I hope you have by now. Oh, that's my fantasy team right now. I was just looking at it before. I'll just say this: like, when it comes to Sleeper, man, like it's not just about picking some things here and there, like to win some money, whatever like that, but you got fantasy football on this thing, and honestly, I have a great time with it right now. I am currently in the playoffs in only one of my leagues. This is like my friend's league from work, and honestly, I'm not this is the first round of the playoffs, so I got I don't know, I got a pretty solid team, but man, I tell you one thing. Jamar Gibbs is carrying me through the playoffs at all right now. Like, so if he shows up, then I have a good game. But if not, I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, I got Lamar Jackson. They got Stafford. I got Gibbs. I got McCaffrey. I got Kyron Williams. You got DeAndre Swift. I got AJ Brown. Jawan Jennings. Like that. And my only Charger player is Arunda Gadsden. And gosh, he put up a goose egg last week. Which sucks. But I mean, man, right now it looks like the Buccaneers are the only ones that are playing on my team. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I play Jared Goff over Lamar Jackson? Like, I mean, I've been really pissed at Lamar Jackson because he was straight up, throwing up goose eggs the last couple weeks. But then, this week he did better than Jared Goff. And then I did have him swapped. I was like, man, just my luck. Kyle is sleeping on the winning record for this for the sleeper app. Yeah, absolutely. Philip Rivers Super Bowl and is a Disney. Yeah, it would be a Disney movie, right? If Philip Rivers won that freaking Super Bowl this year. Yeah, but honestly, and I'll be perfectly honest too. What I like about sleeper app too is that they have the colors for the matchup, and that actually lets you know if it's a good matchup or not. So Jerry Jeudy is someone I might want to throw in there. Maybe over Mason there. But I don't know. I like running backs more than receivers most of the time, So hand in your pants for a high voltage pocket pool. I wouldn't recommend that if you plan on having children. Good comment, Gary. Good comment. Yeah. I will literally cry meeting tears. We get, Rivers, hoist at Lombardi trophy. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, this is they're just reading those comments there. This is my team right there, so I just wanted to do a little bit of that this time instead of showing you guys some picks, because it came after the Thursday night game, but this is just one thing you can do here with the sleeper app that I really just enjoy. And if you can sign up with it right now, and I think you will get that $20 bonus. So you guys should all just do it up, set it up, guys. Just set up a sleeper account with sleeper app, and you get $20. I believe it's still going on, that promotion. But if you did, and then if you do decide to start making some bets, make sure to use the code Bolt Bros, and you'll get 100% match up to $100. And that does help our channel out a little bit, just so you guys know. But hey, man, every little bit helps. For you guys to be little degenerates just like me. And you can also bet on NHL. You can bet on NBA, because that's all stuff is going on in full force as well right now. So, but it's really fun, guys. So I hope you guys start doing that with us. Let's go. All right. So let's get back into some things here. I hope you guys are having a good night. Good time though, So, all right. So now let's get into this part of the show that I wanted to ask you guys a couple questions. I don't want to take too much time of this. And just so you guys know, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this video, because if you do enjoy this content, and if you do enjoy us talking about the Chargers with you guys, so, and we all do something different on the show. My brothers, they always talk about little things in the news. My Andrew does do some little film breakdowns, some little short videos and stuff here and there. And James did have a video earlier today about that new tight end that we signed. But I like to do these kind of weekly chats with you guys and have a good time and just kind of discuss a few things. Oh, and by the way, guys, the Falcons have the ball now. 24 seconds left on the clock. They are within field goal range to get that lock this game away, man. This might actually happen. So. All right, but let's get into some deep questions. Yeah, so the first question I had was this here. Let's do a little bit different here. Right now, we're seeing Justin Herbert win games without an A game offensively. Or I should say, offensive line. Yes, he's had 2 turnovers, heavy pressure. It's not a perfect performance by any means, but does this mean is this to you guys the most important development for his legacy? Learning how to win an ugly game in December, this kind of stuff going on, look, at the end of the day, like I remember a lot of times in the past, with Philip Rivers, he was like, he was never called Mr. December in like the media or whatever like that. But I remember a time when like he was just unstoppable in December. And maybe is this starting to make Justin Herbert that as well? Like, are we starting to see that from him here? Because this might be like the big development field thing for him. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I just noticed. Yeah. End of the game. Falcons just won 29-28. End of the game. Wow. They just took it away from the Bucks. Goodness gracious. They pulled that one out, man. I thought the Falcons were out of it, man, because they just could not make something happen like in the third quarter. But goodness gracious, they pull it out of their hat on that fourth quarter there, man. My goodness. What a game. What a game, guys. Yeah, Richie says, yes, this is a big deal for Herbert. Yeah, and I do agree. Like, I mean, like going back to Philip Rivers and stuff, like he was like basically unstoppable in December. And this is something that I don't feel like really we've seen too much of Justin Herbert, to be honest. Look, I love Justin Herbert, but I do feel like I've seen more games from him. I mean, I think he's probably over 500 when it comes to this come from behind games. Uh, but I think when he has the ball in hand, the last couple minutes of the game, like when he has like 3 minutes or less in the game, I think his record is worse than 500 at that point. So if he can start doing that more, then that's when I know that he has that solidified thing, though. So, yeah, there you go. White Double Deco says Andrew gives me film. James gives me stats, and Kyle, you know what you give me. Kissy, kissy. Oh, yeah, wait. Yeah, talking about Philip Rivers here. 90 yards. 90-yard touchdown. Yeah, let's go. Let's see. Grandizer says, though, no, it is all about the playoffs. If December is the monkey on the back, the playoffs are the gorilla in the back, and both are biting. Ooh, no, that is a great that is a great point, Grandizer, and I 100% agree too. It's like, I mean, the big question it does remain: can Justin Herbert win those games in January? January is when a quarterback is proven. We're the iron sharpens iron. Where like the meat. The metal is met or whatever like that, all those different types of things for sure. But you still got to get there. You still got to get that ticket to the playoffs and stuff. And so, and look, let's not forget this too. We said this at the start of the season, but it took Peyton Manning 6 years to start winning games in the postseason as well. This is the 6th year. Now, I don't know. I don't remember Peyton Manning ever being like super injured going into the playoffs like Justin Herbert's had, like a broken foot, broken ribs, broken hand, broken head, broken heart, all this different stuff. He's like basically the O-line, they're not just tackling him, they're dancing on him, like broken, all that stuff, So I mean, you can't keep using those excuses, but you kind of can't, you have to, I guess. I don't know. What's his monkey business? Says he Hugo says, I was in another stream before this, and it was straight up professional flag football with all them penalties. Oh, gosh. Hey, well, you know what? The Falcons somehow squeaked out a win on that one, kind of playing spoilers against the Bucks. So good for them. Good for them. That's crazy, right? Big question here. If we had to see Rivers versus Herbert and Herbert loses on a 44-year-old, does that tarnish his reputation? Ooh. Boy, that is a deep question. That is indeed a deep question here. And I gotta say this: like, look, if Philip Rivers beats Herbert in a playoff game, that would literally just be, in my book, it's just like, look, you still got a lot to learn, Herbert. And that's just kind of my big thoughts on that one. So I don't think I just don't think that it's gonna come down to that. I mean, Philip Rivers is great and all, but is he going to be good enough to get back into shape to play this Sunday, I'm not sure. I don't know if he's going to be enough to save that organization right now this year. If he keeps playing, sure, but not this year. Just sorry, I'm sorry. He's not going to come back, this year and all of a sudden become Tom Brady. I just don't think that's going to happen. Sorry to say. Gerald says, though, name a quarterback that will succeed. Yeah, let me pull that one back up here. Name a quarterback that will see that in that behind that putrid line. I'm tired of people hating on Harbaugh. Yeah, 100%, Gerardo. People can't be, they're bad mouthing Harbaugh for no dang reason. They need to be talking about that stupid O line. Like they're literally just falling over like bowling pins, letting the defensive linemen, defensive linebackers, defensive cornerbacks, whatever, just letting them walk on through. It's just like open season. Yeah. Herbert is winning games this season he typically would have lost. He now needs to push and do the same in the playoffs. Again, agreed. Absolutely agreed. Let's see. 2025 is shaping up to be amazing. The Panthers might host a playoff game. Hey, that's good. Chiefs might miss the playoffs. Phillip Rivers is back this season is bananas, right? Who wrote this script? Goodness gracious. I don't know what you guys are talking about there. So, hey, we got a comment here from Twitter. Here we go. What's up? This team is tough enough, but the pass protection problems are going to be extremely hard to overcome. Yeah, 100%. Madison Beer better not break his heart. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I know off topic, but I started Kyle Pitts 3 minutes before my game in fantasy playoffs. Let's go, Mysterio, Mysterious Doge. Let's go. Never upset bowling pins again. They actually put up some resistance. Hey, that's fair. How is Phillip Rivers going to handle clipboard Karen? Ooh, that's a good point. I think he'll be fine. He's not like a misogynist or anything, he'll be all right. Yeah, why not? What's up? How you doing, Spicoli? My man, how you doing? Bong hits for everybody, baby. Let's go. Herbert has managed to become a favorite Charger ever, and even more to come. I agree. I love Herbert. It's gonna be great. Oh, kids. Oh, keeps you. Hang on a sec here. I almost have. I don't know. So okay. So those are some good thoughts on that question here. So I got another question here for you guys. Let's get into it. If the Chargers go into Arrowhead and sweep the Chiefs, ending their playoff hopes, how does that change the narrative around Harbaugh's first year from solid rebuild to instant division contender? So my thoughts are this, guys. It's like, look, we all know that Jim Harbaugh was and has been one of the most winning coaches in Chargers history. Not in Chargers history, in NFL history. Like, every single time he's been coaching, he's been winning games. Showed up to Stanford, made them a winning organization. Showed up to the Niners, got them to the Super Bowl, I think multiple times, right? And obviously didn't win, which sucks for him, of course. But that does benefit us because he went to Michigan, spent a lot of time there, won a championship there. But now he's like, you know what? I got my eyes on a bigger prize, and I still want to win a championship. And guarantee if he wins a Super Bowl with the Chargers, that 100% solidifies him in the Hall of Fame. Hands down. No questions asked. Do not pass go. Collect your $200 or no, pass the jail, whatever. Go around the world multiple times. Collect the $200 a couple times. House rules it, whatever. Yeah, instant in the Hall of Fame. When you want to retire, you're in. Just kind of fast track, just like LT was. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. So like, hands down, make that happen. It's done deal. I'm here for it, guys. Us bros are here for it. So and we want to be there with you to see this, to witness this. So what do you guys think here? Let's see. Gerardo says Spanos hired Harbaugh to win us a Super Bowl with Herbert as our quarterback. I trust he will achieve it. I agree. 100%. 1,000%. So Kyle is it a solid rebuild or it's what year 2 in the process? This is year 2. Yeah. From the solid rebuild was last year going 11-6 and making the playoffs. Sure, we got destroyed by the Texans, probably arguably one of Herbert's top 5 worst team games in his career. Definitely painful as the first Jaguars loss game. And probably not as bad as that second Jaguars worst game. Statistically, I think his quarterback rating was actually like the worst, I think, in that Jags game this year, out of all those games. So which is kind of weird to think of, right? Though, so. But yeah, so this is the year 2 in the process, and if we go into the playoffs again and win a game, then that will and beat the Chiefs and sweep them. That will make this change. How will that will change the narrative to Harbaugh as absolutely already legendary. That could even solidify him in the Hall of Fame alone. But I don't know, probably not. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that we can all argue that or agree that Jim is one of the 2 best coaches in the AFC, named Harbaugh. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I agree. Ravens, Jim and John are both they're both amazing coaches for sure. Now the question remains: is Jim Harbaugh? Let's say is Jim Harbaugh the greatest coach the Chargers have ever had? I don't know. That is yet to be said because Bob Ross took us to the Super Bowl and obviously lost. Eric Coryell took us to a lot of AFC Championship games, but we lost. Marty Schottenheimer, was good, but man, if Jim Harbaugh takes us all the way and we win, 100%, he's got to go. Land on go, collect double. Yeah, that's perfect. Valdo Gold, yes. Val Dog Gold. Yes, land on go and collect double. That's for sure. Are you asking how wins this year reflect on Harbaugh's performance last year? Well, no, I'm asking about how that changes a little bit about his narrative. Obviously we know Harbaugh is a winning coach. And if he starts to beat the Chiefs, and we sweep the division from them, take it away from them, does that change anything? Because last year it was a solid rebuild, but now it could change. What we do this year, I feel like could create this as Harbaugh made this team an instant division contender, So that's kind of what I'm saying is instead of just being a solid rebuild, he made us a contender once again. He made us even be in that conversation that we're going to take the division. That's what I'm saying. I don't like the schedule of the last 5 games versus 24 playoff teams. All away games, every slate, Chiefs, Texans games, short week, etc. Yeah, that's a good point. And I think actually when we play the Broncos, they have a mini bye week a little bit too. So that is not a good idea, Val Dog Gold says he loves the schedule, all playoff caliber teams. Oh, but here's the thing too. I forgot to bring this into the slides, but this year we are 75% against playoff teams. So we have already flipped that script and turned that worm where we actually used to be bad against those playoff teams, but now we're good. Now we're really good. Hey, we got the pizza. Well, that's what's up. Broncos schedule is also difficult the last 4 games. Bob Ross, the painter. Is it maybe I've said it wrong, but it's Bobby Ross. I think it was Bobby Ross, the coach. Yeah, Bobby Ross, not Bob Ross. Bobby. Yeah. But technically, yeah, Bob Ross. Yeah. When Harbaugh took over Michigan, people don't think they would beat Ohio State, but he did. That's right. He did, for sure. 3 straight division wins to start the season made us division contenders. Okay, yeah, you're saying from the very beginning we started that up here. All right. Beating the hell out of winning teams does flip the narrative. Good point. 100%. Bobby Ross versus Bob Ross, right? Yeah. Snowman smiling because he saw snowblower coming. Hell yeah. Okay, so let's get into the final question I have of the night here for you guys, and let's talk about this one. Derwin James is called the tone center, the ultimate energy. That's what Harbaugh said. When he's playing at this level, does the defense have a legitimate ceiling as a top 3 in the league? Look, actually, this is honestly quite not a fair question. So because we know Derwin James is kind of like the guy. He's a lot of ways like kind of like the quarterback or like the captain or whatever, or the pulse of the defense. He's the hype man. He's the everything, keeping everyone in line and whatever that. But you guys know my opinion on this too, is that I really like linebackers to be the captains more, because they're more in the center and they can, drop little commands or hints or whatever things to the people behind him and to the people in front of them. And I like to see that, Derwin James actually, he's out there and he's, being used in that blitz packages. He's used in like some of those, that fast, those fast packages where he's able to, be more close up to things. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't think that Derwin James alone is what's going to make us a top 3 defense in the league. 100% not, because we see that this defense is firing on all cylinders. Like the offensive line is doing great. The freaking linebackers are doing great. The corners are doing great. Like, gosh, like shout out to Tony Jefferson, for freaking coming out of retirement. I think he had like maybe 4 interceptions his entire career before us, and now he already has like 5, in the last couple of years. So like he's set above. Like something happened when he went into retirement and just took a year off or something like that, and came back. Something happened. Something clicked in his head. Jesse Minter just kind of pulled out that Super Saiyan out of him, and he's just all of a sudden just playing lights out, So that's kind of why, like, I don't really think that this is a very fair question, to be honest. But what do you guys think? It's like, so what is going, like, so let me just rephrase it. What is going to set the defense above and be in that top 3? Is there a specific player that you think, or is it maybe it's just Jesse Minter? Let me know. Let me know in the chat, and in the comments if you're watching this later, So, so what do you guys see? For anyone who hasn't heard, the Chargers versus Texans game was flexed to Saturday, December 27th at 1:30. Wasn't it the 17th? I thought it was the 17th, not the 27th. I'm probably wrong. Yeah, I'm probably wrong on that one though. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's a double header game. The other one is the Packers game, so it's 2 games on Saturday. That's awesome, and it will be on NFL Network. Thank you, Hugo, for sure. We need a better strength and conditioning coach. I think we just need some more people involved there. That's just it. Boat Bros merch, time to buy for the season. Boat Bros does not have ugly merch. Yeah, guys. So just so you know, like moving forward, we will be using that King Sumo system for our giveaways moving forward. So I'm not going to do the spin the wheel anymore. But I will do the spin the wheel for the cursed team of the week. May as well do one. I'll do one tonight, and then I'll do one for when we do our pregame show on Saturday or something like that. But may as well. We'll have some fun with that. So, but yeah. So our I don't have another giveaway going right now for any merch or whatever. But that's kind of what we got moving forward here. So, El Torchis Miguel says, the thing I don't like about our defense is the constant missed tackles. When that happens, we give up 10 plus yards or ruin our chances at winning a game. Yeah, that is true. And I think the worst offender of this is Buddy Dupree. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've seen him get some pressure, get behind the line, and just absolutely whiff it and get juked. He can get his ankles broke by freaking quarterbacks and stuff, and it was like, dang, it would not be surprised me that if he would get his ankles broke by Phillip Rivers, who's probably arguably the slowest quarterback that has ever existed. So hey, that's the only thing that I got to say to the Colts. So, like, if you want Phillip Rivers to play for y'all, you better be protecting him, because he ain't gonna scramble. he ain't gonna take run around. That's for sure. Yeah. And we need another corner, linebacker, and end. I think before we need that, we do need offensive line. Before, that's what I'd say. Okay, so you're saying Jim Harbaugh and the Bolts are the reason why the defense might be do that. So, Valdo Gold says that secondary is what does it. Yeah. Unk find the fountain of youth. Iconic. Yeah, ironic, isn't it? Hell yeah, he did. We got like 3 Quentin Jamper esque corners. Yeah, we do. Hell yeah. Pretend Cowboys need to get wardrobe consistent on the century we live. Yeah, right. Moving our Texans match to Saturday reminds me of The Big Lebowski. Ooh, that's a great movie, by the way. Great movie. Yeah. Kyle, by the way, my Boat Bros patch came yesterday. Greatly appreciated. Let's go. Yeah. Appreciate you, Hugo, man. Thank you so much for being part of that, being a member, that's 100%, man. It's awesome. 100% stoked that you got to have that. And, we'll, plenty more to come, man. I'm glad you got it. So now you can happily move and know that you're not going to you're not going to miss any packages. Yeah, Quentin Jammer was awesome. I for sure, man. Yeah, they, that 109 and 3/4 yard, field goal return for a touchdown, or was it a field goal? Man, that was amazing. That was so incredible. I think I was there at that game. I can't remember, honestly. It's been so long. But yeah, that was such an amazing thing to see. Goodness, man. Since old dogs are coming out of retirement, y'all think we can get Jason Kelsey to play center for us? Ooh, he's got to be better than Bozeman, right? Yo, Chris B, that I like the way you're thinking. That'd be amazing. Yeah, let's do that. I never identified with Quentin Jammer till I heard he drinks at work. That's funny, dude. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, we've got some time for a couple more comments here. So see if there's someone answering here. This defense is so much better at tackling than any I can remember since the Marty days. Everyone runs to the ball. If a tackle is broken, it doesn't go much further. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. They do get their tackles, but I think what he was saying earlier is that if we do miss a tackle, we effed. So it's very important that we do not miss those tackles. That's just it. That's all we got to do. That's how we got to pay attention to this stuff. So, anyways, so let's see. Do I see? Oh yeah. So I guess I'll just kind of share my final thoughts here. The Chargers we're on a really good upward trend right now. Like I said, this game was a massive freaking moral victory for us. Winning against the freaking Eagles, the reigning champions, is a big confidence booster. But our job is not yet done. I want to talk bad about the offensive line as much as possible, whatever, but at the same side, I mean, I don't know. It's very hard for me to actually speak good about the offensive line because there's not much good to speak of there. But I will say, I guess this is what I'll say is that Jamari Sawyer has been, James and I predicted, has been a shining, beacon of hope for that offensive line. Whatever he has to do to talk to these other players and get their head right, whatever, and get them to start putting their head on a swivel and get in front of players and make those blocks. He's got to do it, because if he doesn't do it, I'm going to get out there on that field and I'm going to freaking snap that ball for Bozeman. I'm going to tell him to move the hell away, and I'll probably do a better job than he would. Hey, I don't care if I break a bone or whatever like that, I'm going to throw my body in front of him because Justin Herbert deserves better than that. I mean, Bozeman, what the hell are you doing, my man? I'm sorry, but you got to get better. I'm sorry. I can't actually be positive towards you, Bozeman, because everything we've seen from you has been freaking terrible. Ass, cash, or grass, like that saying. You got to do better. I know Justin Herbert ain't going to tell you to do better, so I'm going to tell you to do better because you are not doing justice to this team, and you. I don't know what else to say to you, my guy, but you just got to do better. That's just it. Bottom line, obviously Jim Harbaugh believes in you, and a lot of other people believe in you in that organization. So get going. Stop being such a wuss. Get in front of these players. I know you're hungry. I know you want some food and stuff like that. And you. I don't know. Maybe you're eating the wrong things. Start eating healthy. Eat grass-fed meat only. Try that for a week. Don't eat no sugar. Stay frosty, my friend. Come on now. I appreciate you, but for being on the team and stuff like that, But hey, this is a game of performance, and if you're not performing, well, don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. Anyways, but that's all I gotta say on that one right there. So I don't even know if that was actually not necessarily a booster, but it was something. But that's all I got for the Thunder Hub tonight, though. Actually, you know what? While I do this, let's just do this here. Let's do the cursed team of the week here one more time here. Let's do a couple of shuffles here, and let's see who the cursed team of the week. And hopefully, it's not the Chargers. And there you go. 49ers are the first team of the week. So avoid that team like the plague with all your sports betting needs this week. And so that means that they're playing against who they got. Who do they got this week? Now, are they on bye? No, they're playing against the Wow, they're playing against the Titans. So if they lose against the Titans, oh my goodness, that will be a slap in the face for sure. Nice, crazy. Well, let's see. I got time for a few more questions here about that. So, you already looked at that one here. Grandizer says, "Hey Kyle, where are you spending the holidays at? Any big plans or be low key? I live in the land of Christmas and forgot it's just north of the island of misfit toys." Yeah, for me, I think we have to keep it low key. To be honest, my job, it's apparently the last 2 weeks of the year are kind of a nightmare. So I have to stick around and pay attention, keep all that stuff in mind. So, but yeah, so I'll be keeping it up, keeping it chill. It looks like Larry just showed up, man. Hey, man, I'm sorry that you showed up here late, So, let's see, we've got some comments about Bozeman here. So, the only reason Barkley got a big run was bear hugging Mack, not called. Yeah, yep. There you go. Bums man. Yeah, there you go. Booze man would have been better off falling down on every play. He probably would have. Yeah. Yeah, he needs to have that keto diet, Shoot. Bozeman reminds me of Greg Roman. Yeah, maybe that's why they kind of hang out there, just they eat them glizzies together, that's all they doing. Kyle, our favorite weirdo with the beardo. Thanks for all you do. Hey, well, appreciate you, Shad Hansen. Hey, that's what's up. I like to say some wild things, so it's all good. Hey, Valdo, you did call it. Hey, that's what's up. Oh. What was that? Did it help the mental health though? You missed one of my questions. So I think I got it, didn't I? Let's see. Don't you dare curse the Colts and Papa Phil. Hey, South Park voice. Hey, what up, Kyle? Yeah. Anyways, all right. Well, appreciate you guys. Yeah. So it looks like that's about it. So, it's been good. It's a fun show tonight, guys. I appreciate y'all for stopping by and saying hello and sharing some thoughts. Like I said, keep an eye out on some another giveaway. We probably will do another one of the giveaways for a jacket. And we'll probably set it up so that way it'll be essentially a Christmas giveaway. So we'll set it up to be for that Texans game for the 27th. So the results of that one. So I'll set that up. I'll probably set it up, start it off on Saturday or something like that for our post game ahead of the Chiefs game. So keep that in mind. But yeah, so keep a lookout for that one. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this upcoming Chiefs games, and we'll talk a little bit more about it on Saturday. Appreciate all you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful night and you guys sleep well because tomorrow is Friday. Let's go TGIF. And this has been another exciting episode of the Thunder Hub. I wish you guys all the best. And as always, bolt up and Bolt Bros, let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night.